All right, welcome back. In this video, we're going to create a simple piece of geometry. We're going to assign a PxrSurface material to it and mess with some color while adding in a few lights. So I'm going to come up to my shelf and just throw a random piece of geometry in the scene. Let's go with a torus. It's going to be good practice when you're using Maya to start naming your objects in the scenes when you're building complex things, because if you have PxrSurface 72, you may have a hard time finding things in the future. That's going to go the same with our PxrSurface material in a second. When you start assigning a whole bunch of colors to the scene and to geometry, you're going to need organization. So here is our torus. Normally, it would be a Lambert or a Blinn or an AI standard material that we would use, but since we're using Renderman now, all we have to do is come to our Renderman shelf and click on the Luxo ball, which is PxrSurface. This will be 100% of what we use for materials and or coloring and shading. Like this is everything right here. So you click it, it should pop up right over here. Again, get in the habit of naming it. I'm going to call this one Torus Fun. And I won't get into too many of these advanced options until the next video, but under the diffuse section at the top, if we can just change the color to anything we want to change it to. How about a light blue? In your viewport, you will have this little R Renderman option. This will preview the scene interactively in the viewport. This is an amazing option, and Arnold has just now implemented it, but Renderman's had it for the last few versions. So by clicking on this, you will see the render right here. So you click on it. Now, there's no lights in the scene, so we're not seeing anything. The other thing you're going to need to worry about with this R button is that you don't want to leave it on full time. You don't want to be creating geometry, moving geometry, and coloring it with this option on, because it's going to make your computer catch fire. So whenever you're not doing heavy lifting, or you just need to kind of peek at your scene, turn it off. Okay? Let's add a quick light to the scene so that we can see what we've done. I'm going to add a rectangle light by right-clicking and then left-clicking on rectangle light. And I'm going to move it over to the right, and you can see which direction the rectangle light is going to be illuminating by the arrow. And I'll cover lights in depth in the next video as well. I'm just going to scale this up a little bit. And now when I turn the preview render back on, we have a blue torus. And we can always go back into our object and change the color to whatever we would like it to be.